It's your boy Chef Jason, the original bubbling star of Trinidad and Tobago, and to the extension of the Caribbean. So what are we doing today in the Eatahfood studios? Curried corn, but not just your ordinary curried corn. We making it snazzy, putting together some beautiful pigtails into it, dasheen bush bhaji, some dumplings, bringing it together with coconut milk. Yes, coconut milk, we love that. And we impregnating it with some good spices and aromatics. Hey, it's the bubbling star large and in charge. You know what time it is? It's time to run the tune for them, bro. Let's go. So of course, curried corn, a staple here in Trinidad and Tobago and even up in the Caribbean. People love it. It's catching on. And it's not just good enough for me. I like to, make it a little more interesting, embellish it. Again, that's what chefs do. So I decided to create this whole dish by putting more ingredients inside it to make it a more comprehensive dish, almost like a one-pot dish. So we have the pigtails, as mentioned, the bhaji, coconut milk, dumplings inside there. So join me, let's do this together now. Of course, in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, you need to have your quintessential iron pot, otherwise you ain't saying nothing. So let's start with this. On the stove, medium heat, add a little bit of coconut oil inside there. And we want to get that hot. Every time when I make curry, I always put my spices inside there. Things like cumin, I had to use coriander inside there. But then this time I'm actually using methi, also known as fenugreek. So I just want to put those seeds inside there like that. Of course, secondly, when you're making a good curry, you need to have some jeera seeds inside there. So I have jeera seeds and also 2 cardamom pods. A little bit of a flavor, different element inside there when making curries. I love cardamom pods. Mustard seeds. So I want to just make sure that I toast these spices together. By toasting them, you bring out a lot of flavor inside of them. They're usually dormant. Now at that point in time when it's toasted, you could smell it in the atmosphere. We come in all with fresh aromatics. Of course, here in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, we believe in using fresh ingredients. So let's start. Garlic. A little bit of ginger in my curry. I always love ginger. A lot of people are not fond of it, but me, yeah. Shadow benny or cilantro, whichever one you have. Chives or scallions, whichever part of the Caribbean you are. Celery, that's our local celery. Very strong and pungent. Very different to the American type celery. We go with onions. Now if you know in any household in Trinidad and Tobago, whenever they're cutting up aromatics or seasonings to curry or stew, they always put it on a plate. So this is the real McCoy right now. Now, one other ingredient I want to talk to you guys about is curry leaf or carapele leaf. It adds a great measure of depth of flavor inside there, so I want to put maybe like 4 or 5 leaves inside there. What I want to do is make sure that I cook this up nicely. When you see you smelling this in any household in the Caribbean, people would say, "Neighbor, what you making?" You know something is good around the corner. Really and truly, it's just onion and garlic you're frying up in the meantime. So we're about 2 minutes in the game right now. Obviously, I'm smelling that great fragrance that is coming on. That's a great indication now to add our spices. Let me introduce you to the spices. Yes, it's curried corn, so we need to add curry inside here. So I'm going to add a little bit inside there. To that, jeera, or what we know as cumin. That's grounded cumin. Turmeric, or what we know locally as saffron. That's going to give the curried corn a beautiful yellow color. And garam masala. Garam masala tends to be a little sweet, a little spice at the end. It's a must in my curry. Don't worry about the amounts in terms of the quantities of all these. Just check the description below in the box and you'll see the link to the recipe. So you want to cook this up properly. This is what people would call like cooking the curry. It's very important because curry tends to be a little bit granular. And you want to ensure that you parch those spices properly so that we get the maximum flavor out of it. I want to cook this for about 1.5 minutes. Now at that point in time, we need to add some moisture inside there. We need to dissolve those grains of the curry and all the spices that we added inside there. Best way to do that is to add some water. I want to go in with about ½ cup of water. Woo! Hear that noise? That's a good indication. Essentially, what we're making here is a paste, a curry paste that is. You want to mix it up together just like that. Keeping in mind, I'm still on medium heat. What I need to do now is allow this to cook. I want to cover this for about 2 to 3 minutes. The pressure inside there is going to cook the curry properly and it's going to reduce it and make it almost like a paste-like. All right, so about 2 minutes is gone. Woo! Curried facial, I could say. Whole kitchen smelling like curry right now, and you would have seen that this paste that I spoke to you about, we've acquired that. All that water is reduced, the curry is cooked, and we're getting to this nice thick paste, which is very important. At this point in time, we add the star ingredient, our corn. Now this corn is Trinidadian corn. So what I did is I parboiled this for like half an hour previously, and then I'm going to add it to the pot, so it's going to take less time to cook. Of course, I cut it into small slices, makes it manageable for me to turn in the pot. Of course, you could cut it bigger, but it cooks quicker, evidently, if it's smaller. Now, at this point in time, we want medium heat all the time. I'm going to bring it up to high heat because there's more volume in the pot. Going to add water to it and coconut milk. So we're going to add that inside there. So 2 cups of coconut milk. And at this point, we want to stir it up. Now, you would see that the color goes from this dark yellow to this bright yellow. And that's because of the turmeric that we added earlier on together with the curry. You have enough moisture inside there to ensure that the corn continues to cook, because remember, it is half boiled. So we want to make sure that it sucks up all that beautiful coconut flavor inside there. When we get that to that format there now, we take our pigtails. These pigtails, it's about 8 ounces of pigtails. I pre-boiled it obviously for about 35 to 40 minutes, and I cut them into small pieces. Again, I'm trying to match it in ratio to the corn, so everything cooks at the same time. I'm gonna put that inside there. Now, when making curried corn, it tends to have a very loose sauce. One suggestion I got was that to thicken the sauce a little bit, I have a teaspoon and a half here of split pea powder. This is going to thicken it up and give the sauce a little bit of, body, or what we call surwa here in Trinidad and Tobago. So just a little bit on top there. To that, now, dasheen bush bhaji. Yes, the same bhaji that you would make like bhaji and rice, or what you would make kalaloo with. I'm using the leaves. You could use the stems also, but predominantly the leaves are really nice inside there. This is very popular when making oil dong also. So we're leveraging on 2 different types of dishes here, like on oil dong and curried corn. So coconut milk is also used in oil dong. So let's see how it works in this curried corn. Now it looks like a lot, but if you want to know one thing about spinach is that it cooks down, it shrinks almost to 30%. So I'm going to mix it up now. So in total, I have 2 cups of coconut milk inside there and about 2 cups of water. That's the total amount of moisture that I have inside. I got those pigtails, corn, and dasheen bush bhaji inside there, and all those great spices and aromatics from the beginning. What I want to do now is cover this down, and I want to bring this to a boil. Take maybe about 10 minutes, and then we'll check back with it in a little while. Okay, so when you cook at home, people see meat, they see vegetables, but they ask, hey, where's the starch? Obviously, we need something to sustain us. Rice, potatoes. In this case, we're using dumplings, but no ordinary dumplings. These dumplings are going to be cooked inside of the pot. Yes, I did mention it's a 1 pot. Now, I do a different type of dumplings. Half cup of flour inside here. I use baking powder. I don't like my dumplings too heavy. I like them a little bit of poofy, a little nice, almost like little airy pillows. So, half teaspoon of baking powder inside there. I want my dumplings to have character. I want them to have color. I just don't want them to be white and boring, just like Gwyneth Paltrow. Come on, let's get a little color inside there. Some turmeric. That's gonna make it yellow. You're gonna mix it up, and immediately you could see that the turmeric, a little bit of water to bring it together. I'm using the fork in this case, just to bring it in together, and then I'm gonna use my hands after. Immediately, as soon as the flour starts to absorb the water, you know that your dumpling is coming together. So essentially, I just needed it for like 3 minutes. I just want to bring the dough together. It's very important when making dumpling that we develop gluten development. That's the protein in the flour that gives it its beautiful bite. And what you know dumpling for? As you can see, we have beautiful yellow dumpling. Our dumpling has character now, not just white. So we want to roll it out to almost like a snake-like shape. You can cut it in half. Makes it easy for you. So I've got it to this beautiful shape, nice and thin, not too thick, and I want to cut them in pea size There we go. Some dumplings are done. I need to check on my pot to see how it's going. Okay, beautiful. So 10 minutes has gone by. As you can see, it's on a nice rolling boil right now. I just want to bring it down to a little bit in temperature. You can see that dasheen bush has cooked down. One thing I love to do is put tamarind in my curry. So I just have some fresh tamarind. I'm just going to put it inside there, seed and all. Another great herb that I love to add coming down to the ending of my cooking is Spanish thyme, or what we call here in Trinidad and Tobago, podina. So I have a little bit cut up. And this is very strong, very vibrant. I like it at the end. It gives you that nice punch. I want to mix this up again. Allow that tamarind and all those great herbs to come together. As you can see what's going on here. The dasheen bush is cooking down nicely. The curry corn is absorbing all the beautiful coconut flavor as well as the curry. The pigtail, nice and soft, taking on that yellow hue. And that beautiful coconut curry sauce is just making love to all the other ingredients. The only thing we can make this better with right now is a nice hot pepper, just to make it Trinidad and Tobago. Of course. Just put that inside there and just let it mellow. Okay, so maybe like about 15 to 18 minutes has gone by. Let's check on our pot. We added that beautiful tamarind earlier on, that hot pepper inside there, and we could immediately see that our sauce is thickening up nicely. That pigtail is cooking. Remember, everything inside here more or less has been parboiled. That is the corn and the pigtail already. At this point in time, we made our dumplings. I want to introduce them inside here because we're going to let them cook in that beautiful coconut curry sauce. Nice small pieces inside there. And I made them small so they cook very quickly. Again, this one pot dish is something that should not be a hassle at all to execute. When I add this inside here, you gotta gauge. This is where actually being the chef inside of you comes out. You gotta gauge. Let's see, does it need some more water? I think so. So we can just add a little bit. And that's gonna ensure that the dumplings cook evenly. Now remember, when these cook, they're gonna puff up nicely because of that baking powder inside there. Now if it's one thing my mom taught me about in cooking is that always add fresh herbs back at the ending. It gives that vitality to the pot. Some shadon beni, some onions, celery, and some chives. Again, we're a flavorful country, and this is why we use fresh ingredients, and our food supersedes a lot of the other islands, especially when it comes to flavor. Don't get mad with me, it's the truth. So you see how beautiful that looks, ladies and gents? Amazing. Now we want to cover this down and let it go for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just enough until that dumpling cooks. Oh my God, the curry corn essence in the atmosphere is killing me here. Oh, but not only that, the visuals looking really, really nice. You all see what's going on here? This corn is beautifully glazed with that coconut milk, the dasheen bush, the split peas. Look at those dumplings, they're beautifully cooked. What I need to do first and foremost is fish out this hot pepper. Don't want it to burst. And we need to taste it. Of course, this has pigtail inside of it already, so we need to watch our salt content. We're halfway there. It could take a little more salt. Remember, I did boil out some of that salt from the pigtail earlier on, so I'm going to add a little bit inside there. And some black pepper. The last thing I like to add is a little bit of fresh tomatoes on top, just for that color pop and vibrancy. And the tomatoes add a bit of a fruity punch inside there. Look how beautiful this looks, steaming hot. I mean, really and truly, some people would say that we have embodied two dishes inside here, almost like an oil dong, but there's no breadfruit inside it. It's curried corn. It has pigtail in here also. It has dumplings. But I mean, the star of the dish, obviously, is that beautiful curried corn. And I have some nice crusty bread inside there. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean, of course, when we're having soup, we need to have some bread inside there to suck up all of that great liquid. That sauce, or in this term, curried sauce, coconut curried sauce. Trust me, you need to try this at home. This is not any ordinary curried corn. This is the souped up version. Only EatahFood can bring this to you. Like, comment, subscribe, share. It's your boy Chef Jason, the original bubbling star, that is intriguing you right now to post your pictures if you made this dish. Even if you manage to embellish it and make it any different, show us what innovation and creativity you apply to this. Until next time, we love you. See you again. EatahFood, Chef Jason, large and in charge. See you. I'm going to finish this up because I really don't want to show you how I will deal with this on camera. I kind of ashamed.